Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Perreira, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my senior capstone proposal. My project focuses on artificial intelligence and how it's affecting the creative industry, especially through photography. So today I'm going to be walking through my research, my practicum plans, my deliverables, and how I'll finish it by the end of next semester. My goal is to show why this topic matters and also why my practicum is in the right direction for my capstone. Oops. Ah, okay. Here we go. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Jamie. I'm a four-year student at University of Hawaii, West Oahu. I graduated from Pro City High School in 2022. I'm majoring in creative media and my concentration is communications and new media technologies. Because I spent the last 4 years learning about media design and content creation, I felt that exploring how AI is impacting creatives today would be a meaningful and relevant direction for my capstone. The executive summary. This is an overview of what I'll be covering. So first, I'll talk about my plans for my senior capstone project, present my thesis statement, and after I'll explain the objective rationale behind the research I've done. And finally, I'll just show the significance of the project and how it connects to the research I conducted. So here's my thesis statement. While generative of artificial intelligence and automated editing software are transforming photography by increasing creative possibilities and speeding up workflows, the software also challenges traditional ideas of authenticity and authorship, causing photographers to think differently about what actually is creating original art in the digital age. So this thesis guides my entire project. It focuses on both the benefits and the challenges of AI, what it brings to creativity, and it sets up a real question of how are photographers supposed to position themselves in an industry where technology is changing so fast. Next is my objective rationale. So my project has two main objectives. The first one is to explore how generative AI and automated editing tools are influencing creativity, authenticity, and authorship in the creative industry. And the rationale for that is I personally want to understand how creatives are adapting to these new tools and how their workflows are changing and also what concerns or opportunities that they see for the future. And since AI is growing quickly, I want to learn about how the industry is shifting while this is happening. My second objective is to experience the creative industry firsthand by completing a practicum and learning from directly from professionals at that company. The rationale for that is working in a creative environment will let me to observe how real teams use or respond to AI tools in their photography or in their work. And seeing this in real-time action will help me to connect my research that I've done to real work practice and prepare for my own future career. So next is my senior capstone plans. For my capstone, I plan to do a practicum. I currently have two options secured. The first one is the Hele Umua State Internship, and this consists of supporting press releases, social media, media tracking, and helping at press events and announcements. The second one that I secured is Olelo Community Media, and this focuses on videography, creating PSAs, helping set up and monitor camera equipment at events. So at the end of the semester, I'm planning to deliver an Instagram page with carousel posts that include like who I am first to explain my research and like who is behind this page. And the next part is 3 interview sessions with creatives that I'm working with or that I am able to interview, discussing how they use AI, what they think of it in the future, and what plans they have with this new tool. And this practice direction works well with my research because I'll be interviewing people who are in my workplace and learning how they use AI, how they feel about it, what they think its future role will be. And it's like a direct tie to the research I've done this semester. So next is my significance. So for the first significance, I have that AI technology and creative tools are growing fast, and they already are changing how photographers and creatives edit, create, share their work. AI tools can now generate images in seconds, and AI can make retouch photos instantly, which we used to take hours to do. This raises big questions about the future of the industry. So for future implication, as AI tools become faster and more common in the creative industry, AI edited and AI generated images may become more accepted and even more preferred. And this could pressure photographers and other creatives to use AI to stay competitive, raising questions about their role and how human originality fits into all of this. Second significance is more about authorship. So another major thing is that AI is blurring the line between human-made and machine-made work. When software can create something super easy and fast, it just becomes harder to tell who deserves the credit. And for the future, as AI continues to grow, the industry may need new ways to define authorship. And creatives also need to pay attention to this shift because of how it affects their work, how the work is valued, and like how they're going to protect their creative work, and how also the future like will look with authorship. So understanding all of these changes is important for creatives so that they don't lose their voice, their place in the industry as well. Next, I have some data that I found while I was researching and creating my essays. So first is more about 2023 and how photographers use AI in their workflow. It is 2 years outdated, but this is the current of editing and sharpening is 34%. Noise reduction is 26%. Picking out subjects is 23%, and removing backgrounds 21%, and smoothing skin is 19%. So this just shows that AI is already deeply involved in everyday creative work, and this is from 2023. So I would only think that in 2025, it's more. And like these tools aren't just a trend, like they're shaping actively the way that photographers and creatives complete their own work and projects. And this data supports why my research is important and also why creatives need to understand these changes. Next is my target audience. So I have it including creatives, specifically for photographers on Instagram, because that's where I'll be posting my content. And for the first one, it would be creatives aged 18 to 30 for men and women. The second would be photographers and creatives, those who work with cameras, editing, digital, and also just wants to learn about how AI affects their craft. And third would be the creative industry professionals, like those who work in studios, agencies, content creation, and marketing. This would also include those who I'm interviewing. So these people will be most affected by AI, and that's why I chose this to be my target audience. And sharing my findings with them seems more relatable and helps communicate the information in a simple way. Here's my proposed solution. While my project alone won't change the entire creative industry, my goal is to help creatives understand what AI might mean for them in the future. And by sharing what I learned through my research, my practicum, and interviews, I hope to prepare creatives for both the challenges and the opportunities that AI brings. Even if it's a small contribution, it can help artists understand how AI affects creativity, authorship, and originality. And it also allows them to adapt and stay relevant as the industry evolves. So next is my preparation in progress, my process. So my project has a more clear timeline, and the first one is for pre-production. I have it at 4 weeks, and this will include scouting interviewees, planning out 20 to 30-minute shoots and interview questions, and scheduling interview times and locations. The next part is production, which is 4 weeks also, and this will be consisted of conducting the interviews, photographing headshots of each interviewee, and reviewing their answers and editing the photos. The next part is post-production, which is 7 weeks. This will be re-listening to all the interviews and selecting highlight answers to post on Instagram, creating all of those Instagram posts, and also public publishing all of the content on Instagram throughout the semester. So this timeline ensures that I stay organized and deliver everything on time. Okay, so my first deliverable, it will be after creating my Instagram account, and I plan to post first the carousels of who I am and the research I'm conducting, and the next would be the 3 interview sessions. So first for who I am, this is an example in the picture on the right. It's not like set in stone, but this is just a visual idea. And I want it to look something a little bit like this. But it will just show who I am and the research I'm conducting first. The next deliverable would be the headshot session. So each interviewee will receive a free headshot session. And as a photographer, I wanted to include something of my own creative practice in this practicum somehow. And the photos from the session are free for interviewees to use for business, personal, and other uses. The front cover of each post on Instagram will be of the headshot session that I've taken with them. And then next level will be the slides of each cover post. And this will be all the information with each interviewee of the questions and answers from each interview. And I'll be going through all of the interview questions and answers. So I'll be highlighting the answers. It won't be everything, but all the most important things that a creative should know. This is just a visual example of what I kind of want it to look like of the question and the answer. There'll be multiple slides on the carousels. And I think that's it. So thank you for listening to my proposal.